Years ago, the markings of graffiti that we're now seeing were limited to the back alleys and underdeveloped areas of the territory.
And you can see the different groups, survive, bloods, and the definitions of the things that they taught.
From high school to middle school, from the locker room to the classroom, the signs of gang affiliation are spreading like weeds through many of our school campuses.
One of the parental education, we looked at the history of the Crips and the Blood. And a lot of the leaders of these gangs looked at the fact that there was no role model for them. They need a sense of belonging, so that if you can't have it at home, they're going to find it elsewhere. Some of them blamed the lack of having no father, no male figure in their lives. And some of them blame it on the fact that the relationship with their mother or the lack of love and relationships with their parents has been part of it.
My mom couldn't control me. She got real scared. All her friends told her, like, you should just take out a big insurance on this kid, because at least when he dies, he can buy a house or something. I got to school, and when I got to school, I was like, the person everybody wanted to beat up on, because I wasn't that tough. But then I was like, everybody walks around and it looks like you gotta show them pretty much that you're crazy in order for them to leave you alone. So I ended up getting real upset all the time, and I ended up fighting. Every day I got sent home from school. In junior high, I actually went 1 year where I was in school, and I didn't go to any classes for the whole year, and I was in school every day, just causing confusion, selling drugs. I was 17 years old when I graduated from 8th grade. I got started boxing. I went to the gym one day, and I was like, it can't be that bad. You get to fight, and you don't get in trouble, you get a trophy. So I was like, that's pretty cool. And I remember I pretty much cried when I looked in the newspaper and I saw my name when I got my first trophy. And I was like, I had never gotten an award for something good.
There's one kid that is a tremendous testimony. His name is Wilfred Tadman, and he's been involved in the gang banging situation here. I had the opportunity to work with him, to go with him. Probably all the officers in the island knows about him, and he's been in different programs. And I started going to school. I remember when I first met him the very first time, he told me that he was having problem in school. And when I went to the school to find out what's happening, it was actually his 3rd year in the same grade. I think it was 7th grade. And I said, no, this has to change. You have too much talent. I'm seeing too much potential in you, son. And we started working together, and next thing you know, he's living with me. And next thing you know, he's on top of his class, and he made it to the regular high school, and now today he's married, and he is one of the spokesperson for the National Guard. And this kid is tremendous, a tremendous example. That any one of these kids could make it, and I always tell them that. And I think we need, the people, the government of the Virgin Islands to realize that, we are definitely having inroads in our young people's life, and we are affecting these young men. We have a lot of other young men here, young people here that are tremendous testimony, things that they've been through, things that they've been struggling with, and they're beginning now to see a different light. They're beginning to realize that life can be different. They don't have to live the type of lifestyle that they were living before. Right. That was taking them down a road, I think, that, maybe a road of no return, or destruction, you know, whatever you want to call it. But now they realize that, you know, they want to turn around and they want to go the next way. And that's what's happening right now. And we are really excited about what's happening.
To these kids, boxing is just as much of a release as it is a sport. But like any sport, it requires dedication, concentration, and the ability to take direction. Most of the child psychologists and school counselors who we talk to agree that if children and teens can't get guidance and direction at home, they'll search for it on their own, whether it's inside a gym or outside on the streets.
Gangs usually look for kids who are, I would say, lacking something, and they're looking for something, and they try to be whatever it is you're looking for. That's the basic selection process. Most people get beaten. There are people that beat you into gangs. I always try to make sure that I get in to talk to the kids about where I used to be to where I am now, just to let them know that it's never too late to change. So I went, and in 30 days I got my GED. I came back, I went to basic, AIT. I graduated out of basic and AIT in the top 10% of my class. I came back. I'm pretty much a roll since then. I'm an E4 in about a little less than 2 years.
If a picture says 1,000 words, then video tells volumes. This video footage was extracted from a memory card confiscated from a high school student's cell phone. Most memory cards are fairly cheap to buy, and on average are able to hold hours of data, and as you can see, can be quite revealing. Think of these cell phones as an electronic diary, except the written word is now replaced with video, audio, and pictures.
Years ago, I was saying to people here that you got gang involvement on the island, and they said I was crazy. You know, those are just, cliques or whatever, okay? But you actually have gangs, okay? And it's becoming more evident now. I can sit here in my office, and after school, when the school's letting out Charlotte and Marley, you see the gang members on the corner here. The Family Youth Crisis Intervention Program has been around since 2005. We deal with parents, we deal with adolescents, and we deal with the younger kids. The adolescent and the parenting is an intervention type program. With the kids and the rites of passage between the ages of 9 and 12, that's a prevention, because we want to put them on the right path before they become adolescents. The referrals we get for the adolescent groups are from Charlotte and Marley High School, Adora Ken, BCB, Adelita Cancrine, as well as the Department of Human Service for a population which is called person in need of supervision. We also see some kids and adolescents when they come out of YRC for whatever reason. Parents are actually referred to us by the Department of Human Services, when they come in with their kids, with problems. Also from the principals at the high schools and the principals at the middle school when they have a parents' conference where their children has done something, okay? And they say, well, Family Youth Crisis Intervention Program, they also do parenting classes, And what we try to do here is deal with the whole family, okay? Because you can't deal with one person in isolation and you don't deal with everything else that's going on.